Hey everybody, I'm live here in my functional medicine clinic where we see patients around the world via our virtual functional medicine practice, via webcam consultations. And I'm Dr. Will Cole for people that don't know. And yeah, I'm excited that everybody is here. I'm allowing everybody on Facebook and Instagram time to log in. We are live here simultaneously on Instagram and Facebook. And I'm answering your health questions today. So if you have any questions about food, about functional medicine, about hormones, about labs, about autoimmunity, about anything, let me know. And my brother's on Facebook. What's up? And yeah, so ask any questions that you have, and I'll try to get to all of them. Normally we have more on Instagram, so I'll answer them both, no matter where they're coming from. But think of any questions. While you guys are thinking of your health questions, I wanted to fill you in a little bit on some things we have going on. If you haven't joined us recently on Facebook and Instagram Live, I'll fill you in. We have just recently, last couple months, launched our online functional medicine group class. So as you know, my day job is consulting patients via webcam, no matter where they live, and it's normally one-on-one. Hey, what's up, everybody on Instagram? So think of your health questions while I'm filling everybody in. So online group classes, the normal day-to-day job is consulting patients one-on-one. It's my heart, it's my passion, I love it, can't get enough of it. But it's a project that my team and I have been working on for the past year, is to continue to make functional medicine more accessible and more affordable to more people around the world. And to solve that, to kind of take it to the next level, is the online group class. It allows us to talk to 100 people at once and lower our overhead, so therefore passing that savings on to you, making it more accessible, more affordable. We get functional medicine labs sent to your home. We give a functional medicine perspective on your labs. We give you action steps to do based on your labs, the functional medicine process with that, evidence-based alternative medicine, getting to the root cause of why you're going through what you're going through. But we in the group class, you can ask me questions directly. It's all HIPAA compliant. There's patient privacy intact. The questions are just coming to us in a secure system. And the questions will be answered to you directly, privately. But during the class, I'll go line by line and say, well, if this lab is high, it means this. If the lab means low, it means this. And then we go through the lab. So you get a full agency and the knowledge and insight into your health, your biochemistry, and why you're feeling the way that you do, and how you can optimize your health specific to you. So I'm really excited about that. You can learn more about the online group class at drwillcole.com. Yvette and my team just put the link on Facebook, but for people on Instagram, it's drwillcole.com/consultation, or you could just go to drwillcole.com and click the consultation page and learn more there. We offer a free phone or webcam health evaluation to get your questions answered more, to kind of see if it's appropriate for you or not. All right, that's that. Second thing I want to talk about is my new book, The Inflammation Spectrum. It's on pre-order now. It comes out in just 2 weeks from now. You guys have seen the cover probably. It's backwards for people on Instagram because of the camera switch, but The Inflammation Spectrum, really excited about it. So I wanted to read a little bit from the book, just briefly, because I want to get to your questions. So I'm reading from The Inflammation Spectrum, and this is the first page. The goal of the book is for you to find your bio-individuality, find out what works for your body and what doesn't. So here is the book. Your body is alive because of brilliant biochemistry. As a vast 60,000 miles of blood vessels run through you, your body is producing 25 million new cells each and every second. There are more intricate connections in your brain than there are stars in the galaxy. In fact, the trillions of diverse cells in your body were actually formed from the same carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen in the stars that shone brightly billions of years ago. In other words, you are literally made of stardust. While these trillions of cells all have their own unique purpose, they all have one thing in common. They exist so that you may thrive. This is how intricately and profoundly special you are. For eons throughout time and human existence, no one, not one person, has ever had your unique confluence of genes, biochemistry, and beauty until you. And then I'll read more as the weeks go on, but it's about realizing the awesomeness that you are and finding out how to use foods to make you feel great using functional medicine principles. I'm really excited about it. To learn more about the inflammation spectrum, you can go to drwillcole.com, use the drop down on the book section under the inflammation spectrum. There's a quiz online. You can take the quiz, and actually you can read the whole first chapter right now. It's an instant download when you pre-order it. And yeah, there's a video and everything. You can learn more about the book there too. All right, so I'm going to get to your questions for people that are joining me live here. Oops, I just switched that. Sorry, guys, on Instagram. All right, someone's saying, reading Ketotarian right now. Ketotarian is my first book. It's a mostly plant-based ketogenic book. Question here. Good afternoon to you too. All right, here's some questions. Do you think a long-term fast, i.e. 14 days, is a good length of time? I've been keto for 2 years and am up for a longer fast, which I'm planning to start next week. Longer fasts can be great, and it's definitely, I think we have to find a rhythm and balance to things like fasting, because fasting is about restriction. It's about withholding. So that's good when it's clinically appropriate and it's right for your body. And what that balance looks like for you may not be right for the next person. So that is a long fast. You want to make sure that your electrolytes are balanced. I have no connection to these people, but I'll show you because I am fasting right now. I'm using these fasting drops, which someone gave me in Toronto at a keto when I was speaking about Ketotarian, but it's from Keto Chow. They're based out of Salt Lake City, Utah, but this is from the Great Salt Lake in Utah. Again, no financial connection to them. I just handed it to me. And I looked up it online. I looked it up online, and it looks pretty awesome. So make sure your electrolytes are balanced. You're dropping this in water throughout the day to maintain your electrolyte balance, which you want to make sure is optimized during a fast, especially that long. It depends on what type of fast. Like, are you doing obviously a full fast? Are you doing intermittent fasting during those 14 days? What are you drinking? Are you drinking water? I'm assuming, obviously, it's not a dry fast going that long where you're not having any water. Those are typically, obviously, couldn't last that long. So, but just, I would say, look at how you feel, take that into consideration, talk with your doctor, see if that's clinically appropriate. But longer fasts can be amazing. And, I definitely enjoy longer fasts, but they're not for everybody to be used in that way. But it definitely can push people past plateaus and to continue their healing journey, upregulating autophagy or cellular recycling pathways, definitely lowering inflammation. I talk about fasting in time-restricted feeding in the inflammation spectrum because of its ability to lower inflammation and upregulate autophagy pathways. So hopefully that answered your question. And we put in the comment section below on Facebook a link about fasting if you want to learn more about that. So hopefully that answered your question, Belinda Wandler, design on Instagram. And we have another question. Actually, it's a comment from Corey Starbird on Instagram. She said, love this mission to make functional medicine more accessible. Well, I appreciate that, Corey, on Instagram. Okay. And someone said on Instagram, Van K. Pi, she said, explain more about the thyroid disease keto connection, please. So I would say this, that the ketogenic diet isn't causing thyroid disease. The connection between the ketogenic diet and the thyroid, the conversation that's been had over the past years, is the lower carb and fasting mimicking protocols and fasting can inhibit thyroid conversion. So you could see a phenomenon of low T3, even a functional, slightly subclinical low T3 levels, meaning the body's not converting T4 to T3 as efficiently as it would be with some more calories or more carbohydrates, as it were. So this is true, it can happen. You have to put it in perspective, into context with the individual, because slightly lower thyroid levels doesn't necessarily equate to being bad. It's actually been shown to be associated with longevity and living a longer life, basically by regulating something called mTOR, which the ketogenic diet and fasting both do. In theory, it would slow down your body's aging. And this could also produce slightly lower thyroid. Basically, it would be akin to like a hybrid vehicle. It's burning through less fuel, so it needs less fuel. It's just a metabolic adaptation. Now, there are some people that are already coming into the ketogenic lifestyle with lower thyroid levels, and then they go low carb, and they're in metabolic purgatory, as I call it. They're not fully a fat burner and keto adapted, but they're not having the kindling and the sugar anymore either. That's not a good place to be in. So put it into context. Doesn't mean that that person can't do the ketogenic diet. They may just not be doing it in the right way for their body, and they may want to gradually lean into it, get the food thing down right before they go too fast, too soon with the ketogenic diet. But the way that I advocate it in Ketotarian, it's really keeping it simple. So it shouldn't be, this mitigates that tremendously. And you can do a cyclical ketotarian approach is how I do it, how I advocate it in Ketotarian for a lot of people to do a cyclical approach. You can get those carbs. You don't always have to be in ketosis. Some people, it is clinically appropriate to always be in ketosis, some people not. So we talk about which people would it be appropriate and which ones wouldn't in Ketotarian. If you want more information about that, that's my first book, which I'm sure you can put a link in here. So this is my second book, Ketotarian. We have a question on Facebook: who shouldn't do a longer fast? Well, pregnant women shouldn't do a longer fast. I would say people with eating disorders shouldn't do a longer fast, many of them, because it can sort of be an unhealthy relationship. They have to work on their disordered eating and work on healing their relationship with food in their body before they lean into these heavier things, because sometimes you can have an eating disorder disguised as wellness, which is not good, and creating orthorexia and things like that. And people on certain medications shouldn't do longer fasts. Talk with your doctor if you're on medications with that. Those would be the top people that I say shouldn't do longer fasts. The rest of people, it's about finding how long is the fast that's right for you. More doesn't always equal better, so find that rhythm, which takes time, some self-experimentation, but it's worth it. All right, going back here. All right, I think I got to all the main questions. Some of these, okay, I have some more I missed, I'm sorry. This is from Corey Starbird on Instagram. What are your recommendations for intermittent fasting and PCOS? PCOS, generally speaking, is actually typically a good consideration for intermittent fasting because of its ability to decrease inflammation and decrease insulin resistance, which polycystic ovarian syndrome, or PCOS, is typically driven by insulin resistance. So there's actually some exciting studies looking at PCOS, insulin resistance, and fasting and ketogenic diet specific to PCOS. So good question. Someone said, Belinda said, I take electrolytes and magnesium. I also have lemon juice and Himalayan salt. Thanks. Awesome. You're already covered. Perfect. Sylvia Lamarck on Instagram says, I can't wait for the new book. I did the inflammation quiz today. We have the quiz online. You can take it. Thank you so much, Sylvia. I'm not so good in digestion. We have different sections on the inflammation spectrum. You can see which sections you score higher in. And Sylvia Lamarck on Instagram did the quiz today. Can't wait to read that chapter in the book. Thanks so much, Sylvia. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hopefully, well, you're welcome very much. All right. I think I got through all the questions, guys. I have to get going. I have a podcast to do in a few minutes, but I wanted to thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll be doing a lot more Facebook and Instagram simultaneous lives here in the next coming weeks in preparation for the inflammation spectrum. I'll be reading more from the book. You can pre-order it today. You can take the quiz. You can read the first chapter right now if you want. All right, everybody. I'll see you later.